Welcome back to my F1 24 Kimi Antonelli career mode. Today we head to the Spanish Grand Prix here in season 1. Last time out, if you didn't see that one, go check that one out now if you haven't already. A quick recap to start. However, we were in Canada and we were running in P4 before, well, Sergio Perez overtook us in the last corner. We forced him out but had a huge snap of oversteer, which then allowed Fernando Alonso to overtake us by 0.034 seconds. Incredibly fine margins. I know we shouldn't be disappointed with P6, but unfortunately we are. We also rejected a Haas further approach to us, and that was because they're in a lot worse car than us and a lot worse in the constructors. We are, after 6th last time out, we are on 34 points and Williams are doing well in the standings. But now let's head to qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix. First lap then in Q3, and only lap because it is scheduled to get wet, and this lap has been an absolute horror show from us. We were very strong in Q1. Albon did not make it through into Q3. However, we made it through comfortably in both sessions, but a horrible lap, and we end up P9, which will then become P10 after Perez goes and sets his lap, which sees Max Verstappen then on pole position with Lando Norris, his best mate, in P2. We're in P10, however, 2/10 slower than the rest of our closest person, Sergio Perez. But now let's head to the race.
Good chance of matching our results from the last race here. Let's make sure we get the result we deserve.
Last time here, I wasn't in F1 marked, so I don't know what you're talking about there. But soft to medium does seem the strategy, but if you look at it looks very marginal. So maybe a soft to hard. We know tyre wear's high around here. The soft tyres will vary quickly during our flying laps. I thought about starting on the medium tyres as well, but then I looked at the rest of the grid and I saw that they aren't starting on mediums. They're all starting on softs. So we had to go for the softs. You can see here I'm checking. I see everyone's on softs except Lewis Hamilton, except Carlos Sainz. And that will cost him, by the way, Carlos Sainz on the medium tyres. So we had to go soft. Soft, medium. We don't know what the tyre wear's like. But let's go to 5 red lights for the Spanish Grand Prix. Here in Season 1, with starting P10, it's lights out. And away we go. George Russell as well, our rival, starting P5 as we overtake Fernando Alonso immediately in the Aston Martin. We're going to get revenge for last time out in his home race. We're also going to overtake Lewis Hamilton. No, we're not. Perez is, though. Short round the outside. Can we maybe follow Perez through? Maybe if we go round the outside of Perez. Yes, we can. We get a little loss of revs there. I'm not sure why. But we do move up into P8. And now Lewis Hamilton ahead in the Mercedes. And now can I shoot the car down the inside? No, I couldn't. But here with ERS, it's going to be slipstream. We're going to gain. We're going to gain on Lewis Hamilton, who goes defensive to the inside. We're going to swoop round the outside of turn 1 and move up into P7, as now Piastri and Sainz are fighting up ahead. Sainz, I told you he would struggle on those mediums, and here he is. Piastri's hassling him, and they're losing so much time to the cars around us. And here goes Oscar Piastri on lap 3 for the move, and we're going to gain on them. We're going to deploy all our ERS to also go down the inside of Sainz, late braking, but we are going to make it work very comfortably. Incredibly late braking there, but we're up into P6 as now lap 3, same lap. Alexander Albon out of the race, and Oscar Piastri, we are chasing him for this, as for P5 this is, as we start the next lap with DRS, a 16.0, a new personal best, as we gain on Piastri. He hasn't got the DRS anymore. We're going to go in the slipstream, we move comfortably to the inside and move up into P5. To be fair to Piastri, he holds it round the outside, but there's no stopping us from in that position. But Piastri is going to come straight back at us on lap 5. As so is Carlos Sainz. He wants to go round our outside. I thought about letting him and trying to get him to battle with Sainz as well, with Piastri. But he didn't seem to want to. But we are now still in P6. But Piastri has escaped from us just for a momentarily. But some good braking sees us catch up to him on lap 5. We're pushing him through these corners, and I see him vulnerable into the DRS zone. We just overtake him up the hill. Great move from us. Piastri now doesn't have the DRS either, and will that allow Sainz to overtake him? No, Piastri holds his own, but Piastri, I'm sure, will come right back at us at the end of this lap, going on to lap 6. But now it's lap 7. Piastri did not overtake us. In fact, he's dropped down the order quite a bit. Lewis Hamilton, however, he's climbed up the order. Remember when we overtook him all those laps ago on lap 3? As now, he's going round or outside, and he's managed to do it. Fair play to Lewis Hamilton. Round the outside of a hairpin. You wouldn't expect many to do that move, but if you were to expect anyone, Lewis Hamilton would be top of that list. But now lap 7, we do have the DRS on Hamilton still just. And we've got Fernando Alonso behind us as well. But we are going to deploy all our ERS. It's so powerful with Slipstream and DRS. Lewis is going to go to the inside. We're going to just hold it round the outside. He squeezed us so much there. But we do move up into P4, P5. And George Russell, our rival, in P4, 9 seconds ahead. I can't see us catching up to him quite yet. As we pit now on lap 10, our scheduled pit window is next lap. So we come into the pits, we're going onto the hard tyres. Yes, the tyre wear on the softs you are about to see is incredibly high. In fact, I believe one side, we're at 45% on the left side of the tyres, only 17% on the front right. So it's really, really, another slow pit stop. We do come out ahead, just ahead of Lance Stroll, but somehow we've had a third slow pit stop in the past 4 races. It's just not good enough, to be honest. We had a slow pit stop in Canada. We had a slow pit stop in Imola as well, I believe. It's just not good enough from the team, and they've got to be better than this, because that you're about to see has cost us big time. We are behind a huge train of cars. We would be heading this train of cars. We were stopped for 3 seconds more than we wanted to be. And that's cost us. That's the difference here between P12 and P8. And that could prove decisive, because those guys, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Sainz, all on... Not Sainz, Sainz gone to hards actually. But those ahead are all on medium tyres. And you're going to see Ocon and Tsunoda both overtaking us. Absolutely nothing we can do about it. We're defenseless on these hard tyres. If we were a bit further ahead, maybe we might be able to DRS train, but we just can't, because we didn't have the tyres. We weren't ahead to begin with because of that slow pit stop. And that slow pit stop meant instead of fighting for P4 or P5 or P6 or P7 with Mercedes and Aston Martins and Ferraris and McLarens, we're fighting Alpines and our Visa Cash App RBs. As you see, we got an objective and complete it immediately, which is quite funny. I did not intend that, but we do move up into P13. We overtake Ocon, and now lap 17. Laps are running out for us to re-catch up to Hulkenberg and get points. I believe, as these guys' tyres are wearing, you can see me overtaking Tsunoda, and that is because of his tyre wear. We are going to go down the inside of Tsunoda and up into P12, and now the gap to Hulkenberg is 5 seconds. We need to close that within 5 laps. We have to catch up a lap to him, but unfortunately for us, we could only catch up 2 seconds at best. It wasn't good enough. Maybe mediums was the better decision, but we come up to the line. The tyre was not that bad. We could have gone on for a few more laps. We were catching up so much at the end, but it's only P12, and it's a really disappointing race. But to be fair, that is where our car is at the moment, so we can't really complain about it, but it's just a bit of a shame because we were doing so well against Aston Martins and Ferraris, but P12 is what we're going to have to settle with.
Victory for Max Verstappen.
That's 2 wins in a row for them now. That's really going to help them gain confidence and start to build up momentum that they're really going to be looking for.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they secured here. absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action.
It's Max Verstappen then who wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Lando Norris in P2 and George Russell finishes P4, but we are P12. Albon P20, he DNF'd, I mentioned that earlier. In terms of the standings, we lose ground on George Russell, who has now won the rivalry most unfortunately with that one race. Not really much effect in the constructors or the drivers in terms of the actual standings, because there wasn't... because those around us didn't really get that many points and don't often get that many points. We move up to a 70 overall in the R&D as we head back home in Italy. I mean, I don't know really how to sum up this weekend, because it's been a good weekend, but it just wasn't, it just wasn't good enough from the team. As now we're here, it's frozen. That's probably because I cut it at the wrong time at the end, but that is fine. And but if you haven't liked or subscribed to the video already, do make sure to do that. It helps out so much. And I'll see you guys next time for Austria. It's the Austrian Grand Prix, a sprint race as well. I'm super excited for that. First sprint race of the season. See you guys then. Goodbye.